On the news, President Tinubu and governors, others preach unity and love at Christmas. Nobel laureate Wole Soyinka visits Tinubu in Lagos with 7-point agenda, reserves assessment. Nigerians to now provide NPC certificate to modify date of birth. Hello and welcome to News Now on TV360 Nigeria. I'm Simisola Adigun. President Bola Tinubu has reassured Nigerians of his administration's commitment to alleviate their hardships amid ongoing economic reforms. In his Christmas message to Nigerians, Tinubu, who acknowledged that the necessary reforms implemented this year to achieve greater national prosperity had brought difficulties on Nigerians, he described 2023 as a period of significant transformation and change in the country, highlighting themes of hope, transformation, and compassion. On the Christian celebration of Jesus Christ's birth, the president emphasized the universal significance of Christmas as a time of joy, love, and friendship for people of all faiths. Meanwhile, governors in their goodwill messages implored citizens to foster peace, joy, and brotherliness as they celebrate Christmas. Christian faithful in Nigeria have joined their fellow believers across the world to celebrate the birth of Jesus Christ. In Lagos, the celebration kicked off with church services where the teachings of Christ, including the spread of love, tolerance, among other Christian virtues, were preached. Our correspondent, Sydney Okafor, has more.
Christians cannot be silenced no matter how hard some try to keep the message quiet. Every 25th of December brings the feeling of nostalgia as Christian families acknowledge the reason for the season, which is the birth of Jesus Christ, as well as pay visits, exchange gift items, among other activities. Here at St. Leo Catholic Church Ikeja, the officiating minister Emmanuel Omoroke emphasized the virtues and benefits of genuine Christian living. He called for patriotism and good brotherliness among Nigerians despite the current harsh reality.
Despite the hardship we are facing in the country, we should all know that Christ has come, and Christ is the Savior. He has come to redeem us. No matter what things are passing through, He is aware, He knows, and He has a solution to every problem. And so all we need to do, let us continue to trust in Him, believe in Him, trust in Him, because with Him all things are possible. And so, His time is always the best, and He will surely put things right.
The service is accompanied with thanksgiving and appreciation to God for another year of being alive despite a challenging year.
As far as there is life, there is money. I thank God. When I wake up this morning, I say, God, I thank you for good health. I thank you that I'm standing on the land of the living to celebrate this Christmas, whether there is no money or not. Asleep, God is everything.
Whatever Nigeria are complaining is the reality. There is hardship in the land. But in all things, must give thanks to God, who preserve our life to be among the living today, celebrating the birth of our Lord Jesus Christ, who took place 2,000 years ago.
Amid Thanksgiving, worshippers urged the government to implement measures to alleviate the prevalent hardship brought about by the unfavorable economic situation in the country.
My happiness is that Christ came to redeem the world from hardship, from sickness, from disease, from everything you can think of. And it's proving itself. It's a practical Christianity, it's practical reality. Nobody needs to tell me now that the harder the economy becomes, the better for those that know God, because He's our source. Nigeria government is not our source. So that's why we have to solely depend on the source, not the resources.
Things are highly tough this day. Everybody can feel it, no matter how you think someone has. So, but nevertheless, everybody knows the state of situation here in our country. As a Christian, we're celebrating Christmas, the birth of our Lord Jesus Christ, the main purpose of our redemption. This is where the redemption of Christianity starts. So, the first joy is that we have hope. There's hope that even after this world, there's a life. So, the suffering we are passing through now is just a while. Soon or next, everything will be fine. So, and I want to appeal to our government that in their duty, they should ensure that they have the feelings of masses.
Although Nigeria is currently witnessing her worst economic days, Christian faithful say they will brave the odds to celebrate the birth of Jesus Christ. Sydney Okafor, TV 360, Lagos.
In the spirit of Christmas, Nigerians defied the odds of the prevailing economic recession in the country as they scouted various markets in Abuja in last-minute rush for Christmas shopping, leading to serious traffic snarl in some parts of the Federal Capital Territory. Our correspondent, Emeka Amako, went around markets in Abuja and files this report.
Christmas is one of the best days of the holiday season to spend quality time with those you love. When families are seen making purchases of various kinds in the interest of their loved ones. However, millions of households in Nigeria are cutting down on purchases and foregoing traditions as food prices continue on a relentless rise. The situation is striking wallets and affecting people's ability to meet their financial needs. At Otaku Market in Abuja, residents are busy trying to strike a balance with traders. They voice their concern over the high cost of living.
In Abuja here, practically everything is sourced from outside Abuja. So they have to transport it. And in doing so, it increases the price of things in the market. You are seeing these goods, but people can't buy it. So you will just from one shop to the other, trying to compare prices, trying to see which is better. It is no better.
The situation is 3 times worse than before, because as far as I'm concerned, things that you bought like last year for 1,000 naira is like 5,000 naira. Then how will one survive? Even with the money, how will one survive?
Most of the traders busy attending to customers say the rush is not unprecedented, as some Nigerians expect a massive reduction in the prices of items at the time. Although some buyers blame the rush on the dearth of cash in many banks and automated teller machines, ATMs, but advise Nigerians to live within their means.
People are struggling to survive. We can't stay idle, but the little one we are doing, they should assist the poor masses. In terms of transportation, is too high. The cost of feeding is too high. So many things are high. They should come to poor masses and meet up our expectation.
Because right now, with the cost of things in Nigeria, we don't know what tomorrow holds, and things are already very expensive. So I would advise everybody stick with your budget and don't go beyond your budget. To say my budget cannot carry me to anywhere, it can only provide me with just half pot of stew. That's what my budget can carry, because things are very expensive.
For some of the traders, business is worse off compared to the preceding years.
Like this cow now. Before you used to kill this cow, buy this cow at the rate of 350, 400,000. But this very one now is 720,000 naira. You can see the increment. Before we were selling kilo 2.8, but now kilo is 3,500 naira. People do want to buy, but they don't have 3.5 to buy. And if you say below 3.5, that means our money will not complete. Talk of gain. So that is what we are facing now, but everything is too high.
This period, you can see the way people are moving up and down. Not that the business is that fast, but we are doing our possible best to meet up the need. The rush is that slow. It's not that, because there is no money in circulation. People are finding it difficult to have cash. So the little they can do, they could be able to purchase what they want.
While recognizing of harsh economic reality in the country, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu approved a 50% cut to reduce the extra burden of paying exorbitantly for interstate public transportation. However, Nigerians, though grateful, believe that a reduction in the cost of petroleum would rub off nicely across the board.
Governor of Lagos State Babajide Sanwo-Olu has commended President Tinubu for his policies in the country, which he says has shaped its narrative, although difficult. Sanwo-Olu, who visited the President Bola Tinubu in Lagos, says the president hit the ground running from day one, describing the policies as a corrective measure. While speaking to journalists, the Lagos State Governor, who commends Nigerians for their resilience and assures citizens that the recovery is for better Nigeria, has begun.
The administration has indeed settled in well. They've settled down very well. If you remember and if you recall very well, the president himself, from the very first day, hit the ground running with a few of his far-reaching, policy statements, which indeed has shaped a lot of narratives in the country. So how have some of those policies, how has it melted out? Obviously, they have been very hard pill to take, but indeed they've been a corrective medicine. You need to take a medicine, you need to have a recovery time, before you can have a full effect of whatever medication that you have taken. And we're beginning to see that. A simple example was also is thought to be able to create transport palliative during this festive season, to commuters, to train customers all around the country, at selected routes just to ease, their means of transportation. So indeed what I see is the government had sort of like set very bold, audacious agenda for themselves. I dare say that, in my view, a lot of the ministers have also settled in very well, a lot of them. You've seen them traverse up and down of this country. You've seen them set, narratives about their various ministries, agencies. But has the work been finished yet? No. It's a 4-year tenure, right? So we're saying, Kaiser, 7 months, like you said. They are on the right track. Will we win, the economic battle of this country? Yes, I think we will. Will it be faster than we thought? That is prosperity to judge. But I think truly, really, we need to commend him. We need to commend, the very, very tough, hard, economic choices that he has made.
Nobel laureate Wole Soyinka says he has discussed a 7-point agenda with President Bola Tinubu. Soyinka said this when he visited the president, who is on holiday in Lagos. Speaking with reporters after meeting with the president, Soyinka, who described Tinubu as an old friend, says he would assess his administration after a year in office. On his part, Abia State Governor Alex Oti, who also visited Tinubu, urged Nigerians to exercise patience with the economic policies initiated by the president and expressed optimism that positive changes are on the horizon.
Something you may have noticed about me, that most heads of state, when they take office, I always leave them alone for about the first year. I don't know if you've seen that, if you've noticed that. Because they need, I know when they come in, they don't start from ground zero. They often start even lower than ground zero, and they have to make up. So I have this personal policy, whether it's Obasanjo or Buhari or Jonathan, you'll notice that during the first year, I hardly ever say anything. And then people ask me, why are you not talking? I say, go and ask the last person whether I spoke during the first year. So I'm adopting the same principle this year. At the end of 1 year, ask me that question. I came here with a 7-point agenda, and we had a very thorough discussion on those items. There's one in particular, however, which I do not hesitate to reveal to you, and that is this issue of Mubarak Bala, who's been languishing in prison unjustly for no reason, no crime known to the Constitution. You must have heard the name before. And other people in the same predicament. That's been the top of my discussions today.
He came in at a very difficult time when Inflation was close to 30%. The debt, national debt, almost $40 billion. And then unemployment close to 33.3%. Then the management of the economy at that time was also a big challenge with almost 24 trillion naira printed, what is described as ways and means. So anyone that understands how the economy works will agree that it's a very difficult challenge. So one thing is that he has been very courageous, unifying the exchange rate and then removing petroleum subsidy, which actually had become a scam and costing us a lot of money.
The National Identity Management Commission, NIMC, has said Nigerians applying to change their date of birth on the National Identification Number NIN database will now be required to provide an electronic civil registration and vital statistics system certificate from the National Population Commission, NPC. The Commission revealed this in new guidelines for date of birth change it released on Sunday via its X handle. In addition to the certificate, NIMC says copies of other valid documents such as identification and application letter for modification will now be addressed to the DG CEO of NIMC. As part of efforts to achieve the United Nations Sustainable Development Goal number 7 on affordable energy and also tackle climate change, renowned Nigerian entertainers are organizing a climate change concert to be championed by internationally renowned disc jockey and music producer DJ Power to sensitize on protection of the Nigerian environment. The promoters of the climate change concert, DJ Power, says the creative industry, especially the entertainment industry, has a crucial role to play in promoting sustainability and awareness on the danger of climate change to the environment and the need to promote sustainability.
Rock the Climate means we try to use entertainment while we're having fun. We're passing awareness about climate change, climate solutions, taking action and bringing solutions to climate change. But we want to focus more about bringing solutions so that people will get to start to know how to solve the problem of climate change, reduce our carbon footprint here in Lagos and across Nigeria, Africa, and across the world. So in a nutshell, Rock the Climate campaign is all about using the creative industry to bring awareness about climate change and climate action.
It's time for a break, but coming up in the news, Lagos residents lament economic hardships this Yuletide season. Stay with us for details. We'll return shortly. Welcome back. A quick recap of our top stories. President Bola Tinubu has reassured Nigerians of his administration's commitment to alleviating their hardships amid ongoing economic reforms. In his Christmas message to Nigerians, Tinubu, who acknowledged that the necessary reforms implemented this year to achieve greater national prosperity has brought difficulty on Nigerians, he described 2023 as a period of significant transformation and change in Nigeria, highlighting themes of hope, transformation, and compassion. We also told you that the National Identity Management Commission, NIMC, has said Nigerians applying to change their date of birth on the National Identification Number NIN database will now be required to provide an electronic civil registration and vital statistics system certificate from the National Population Commission, NPC. The Commission revealed this in new guidelines for date of birth change it released on Sunday via its X handle. In addition to the certificate, the NIMC says copies of other valid documents such as identification and application letters for modification will now be addressed to the DG CEO of NIMC. Now, in case you missed any of our news bulletins or for more updates, you can catch us on Limex World TV or log on to our website on www.tv360nigeria.com. You can also follow us on our social media platforms on Twitter, Instagram and YouTube at TV360 Nigeria, or download our mobile app on Google Play Store, Huawei App Gallery and Apple Store. On Facebook, we're at TV360 Online. In business, soaring prices of goods and services, cash scarcity, and epileptic power supply are some of the challenges Nigerians are facing this season, which could mark what should be a memorable festive period. Although the government has offered some palliatives to cushion the effect of the harsh economy on the people, the citizens still desire more to make it a Merry Christmas celebration. Correspondent Comfort Samuel, who visited some markets and motor parks, completes the story.
Christmas is typically a high-volume sales season as people make last-minute shopping, giving business owners the opportunity to make big sales. This season, there is a lull in sales of goods and services as seen by low market patronage, as the purchasing power of the people is eroded by inflation, which has made the prices of food especially go beyond the reach of many. Latest data from the National Bureau of Statistics (NBS) shows that Nigeria's inflation rate increased for the 11th consecutive time in 2023 alone. Traders at the famous Mile 12 and Ojota markets expressed their dilemma.
Before Christmas, we usually buy bags of carrots from the north for around 20,000 to 18,000 naira. But now we buy 30,000, 40,000 and above. Previously, we sold carrots per bag at 4,000 to 5,000 naira. But so far, this is the worst year ever. A bag was transported at between 4,000 naira to 5,000 naira, but now it's above 9,000 naira. Sales are also quite low this year, no thanks to the high cost of transport. But we hope things fall in place.
There is life, but there is hope. There is hope. But in the market no dey move at all. No dey move at all. Because if na last year better. Because last 3 years, last 4 years is better more than this year. You see where you buy 10 naira today, it become 500. You see where you buy 300 at this moment, if you enter, if you want tomorrow, you go 2,000, 3,000, 4,000. Yeah, we where the sell market, we know they happy. Because everything is too expensive.
I can't even explain because things are very hard. Trying to buy something of almost 5,000 naira, you will not even see what you buy. You just say things are it's just very hard for me, especially this December time. Trying to come to the market to buy something is feeling so uncomfortable for me because of due to the price of the items I want to buy. I don't see it more valuable again. My money doesn't it's not viable for me again.
In the transport sector, citizens in the country decry skyrocketing prices for air and bus fares, which have risen significantly. A recent visit to the Lagos bus park at Ojota, we see passengers moving from one bus terminal to another seeking best deals.
I'm experiencing so many things, not only this Obiode Park. In other private park I went this morning, and I see that many of them, the transport have increased than before. Like Benin, going to Benin before, it's about 10,000, later 11,000. Like last week, they still collected 13,000 plus. But today I'm standing now, going to that side now, maybe it's about Benin, almost 17,000 plus. So people are complaining bitterly.
The price is highly skyrocketed. The price is so much that average Nigeria will not be able to afford even the current price of flights within Nigeria. Even outside Nigeria, the price is just too much.
For those who have decided to cut costs by not traveling but sending food items to their loved ones in the village, they also paid heavily to transport the items.
What I came to send now, initially it used to be for 1,500. It used to be for 1,500, 2,000 naira, but coming now, I'm being charged 5,000 naira. And if I'm able to negotiate, if you have a good negotiating power, you negotiate maybe 4,000 or 3,000, which is really for them to accept. But at least the list is for you pay 4,000 naira, depending on how heavy your package you're sending is.
According to a recent report by the World Bank, an additional 24 million Nigerians have been plugged into poverty due to incessant rise in inflation. To ease the economic burden, President Bola Tinubu says his administration will continue to implement palliative measures for the most vulnerable, address current hardships and elevate the suffering of citizens. Comfort Samuel, TV 360 News, Lagos.
In Sri Lanka, the president has granted amnesty to more than 1,000 convicts and released them from jails across the country to mark Christmas. This latest pardon came after police arrested nearly 15,000 people during a week-long military-backed anti-narcotics drive that was halted on the eve of Christmas. The prison's commissioner says among the 1,004 freed on Monday were Sri Lankans jailed for not being able to pay outstanding fines. Presently, the island nation's jails are chronically overcrowded. According to official data, as of Friday, there were nearly 30,000 inmates in facilities designed to hold 11,000. And in sports, Anthony Joshua has won his third fight of 2023 with a TKO victory over Otto Wallin in the main event of the Day of Reckoning card in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. Joshua cruised to a fifth-round technical knockout win over Wallin, who had been expected to be a formidable opponent, especially with his southpaw stance. In a post-fight interview, he expressed his aspiration to achieve the remarkable feat of becoming a three-time world heavyweight boxing champion. Joshua now holds an impressive record of 27 victories and 3 losses with 24 knockout wins. That's all on the news. Thank you for watching and Merry Christmas.